Welcome to the 3 Generation Starter Pack Challenge, presented by Leeroy Jenkins Productions. This is Will, Leeroy Jenkins.
This is Cameron.
And we'll be doing play-by-play for the round at Three Island State Park in Glen Ferry, Idaho.
Hi, I'm Will Jenkins, PGA number 77413. One of the discs I'll be throwing today is the Truth.
Alright, my name's Cameron and I'm going to be throwing the Escape. It's a stable fairway driver.
Hi, I'm Bob, and I'll be throwing the Judge today for this round.
So, it's a winter afternoon and pretty nice weather, just a little chilly. We'll be starting off on hole 1, par 3, 331 yards. Feet. And up first will be Cameron.
Yep.
What are you throwing here?
Don't shake it.
I'm throwing the Escape, the fairway driver. And, I had a pretty good throw for the first day, or pretty good release for the first throw of the challenge, and then
Obviously, I'll be throwing the Escape as well. I've never thrown the Escape until this moment right here.
and he absolutely crushes his drive. Fades off towards the end, and he's up there right next to the basket.
Yep. And this is my dad. He's left-handed. Doesn't have a run-up. He just stands there and throws. Does a pretty good job at it.
Yeah, it works pretty well for him. You gotta do what works for him.
Are you ready?
This will be the Judge, and he kind of just doesn't get it all the way up there, but progress. And this would have been your Truth.
Yes, I did throw Truth on that upshot. And I got a little nose up in it, so it faded off a little earlier than I wanted, but
Always circle 2 here. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
just nailed the putt. Good way to start off the round. Good way to start off the day.
Saving that par.
Saving that par, which
Look at that.
is a hard hole for some people to par, because it's a pretty long par 3 for the hole.
And then he wastes no time. I barely got him in there. And I'll take that for a birdie.
So after the first hole,
Yeah, little camera mess up there. Missed his drop in, but he did get the bogey. So
we start off the hole, the round with all different scores.
and now we're on hole 2. Got this tree right dead center of the fairway that seems to find the discs. I normally throw a forehand here, but with the starter pack, I chose to throw a backhand, and I'm absolutely happy with the results.
Yes, he absolutely crushed that drive.
Cameron.
And yeah, I nailed that first tree on the right side, so I didn't get very far out there. And I was really hoping it was a good release too. It would have gone out there pretty far.
And he got his just a little low, but he got it down there some ways. He can reach the basket from that second shot. And then upshot.
Yep, but nailed the other tree on the right side of the fairway, so still didn't get quite up as far as I wanted, but
And then my dad gets it up there a little ways. Seems to have a little bit of issue getting the disc up in the air his first couple throws, but we'll see if he can fix that. And then
so I gave it a pretty good run there for par, but I was still pretty far out there, so getting it close was my goal, and you
I tried.
You went for it. You gave it a chance, that's for sure.
Yeah. I thought it was going to fade back a little bit more at the end there, but I'll take it.
So we're all within 15 feet now.
Good putt.
I save the bogey, which, considering how many shots it took to get up to the circle one, bogey is all right with me.
And what's happening for par?
Yeah, for never throwing the escape, you had a hell of a 2 drives. So
So now we're going on the hole 3. They have it. They play it as a par 4. Sometimes during tournaments we'll make it a par 3. But casual round par 4. It should be an easy birdie. Going with the escape again. And
a monster drive.
I'm okay with that. I get it out there a little bit farther. I normally throw a queen on this, but I'll take that. And then, what do you know?
Boom.
Finds a tree.
Nailed another tree. This is where my grandpa starts making smart remarks about how many trees I hit.
And he just threw that in the ground again, so still, he finally gets it up in there, and look, a little better result, just clipped a little tree at the end there. Oh, this is a pretty good drive. What do we got here? Oh, another tree.
Yeah.
I think you're loving the trees today.
They weren't loving me.
Alright, so my dad's been playing for about 3 years now, just casual. He goes out when I go out, not all the time, but I think he has over 100 rounds in the 3 years, so that's not bad. Cameron's been playing for the same amount of time as I have, because we actually threw our first discs on the same day, because we decided we would try something new. So, alright, so this is my second shot. And I kind of turned that over a little bit. I'm not used to the feel of that judge.
Oh, there you go.
But
Nice, easy.
my dad puts it up next to the basket, and then I'm attempting to get that bird. Oh,
and
yeah.
he gets it.
I'll take that.
It looks like I just tapped in for par.
And grandpa gets a bogey.
Yep.
Alright. So this course is right on the Snake River, right where Three Island Crossing, historic Oregon Trail landmark. And now we move to hole 4, and this is infamous 208 hole.
I don't know.
Well, I just aced this hole 2 days ago, so it'll probably be OB, but this is a 208 hole. Judge or truth? I'm gonna go judge.
Yeah, and I called it. OB. But I absolutely threw that thing way too hard. And you went with the escape on this one?
I did. It wasn't the wisest choice, and I nailed that tree.
After playing a few more rounds after this starter pack challenge, what disc would you
The EMAC truth.
Oh yeah.
For sure. I didn't need a full driver to get down there. I needed something a little bit more stable, or overstable, and I just threw it right into the tree, so it didn't even matter. But here I had a pretty decent second shot up there to hopefully save par. But
Oh, good bird bid there. And now I'm trying to save my birdie from,
your par.
or my par, yep, sorry. And
Oh, it hit the basket.
Oh, what?
It was a good run though. It had the speed. And I just tap it in for par. But Grandpa saves par.
and I'll take the bogey.
You will take the
and
bogey and fall to the
back of the box.
back of the box, which doesn't happen too often. And that's one of those holes, man, where it's short enough and easy enough that it seems like you need to birdie it every time, and we just didn't play it very well.
So this is this course was originally 9 holes, and then they added 9 holes. So this will be the first of the new 9, and you can tell which were the original 9 and the new 9 between the old school DGA baskets and the Innova baskets. So
here, both Grandpa and I had some pretty nice drives to get up there. Unfortunately, with Grandpa's left-handed backhand, he's going to fade off away from the basket, but it's okay.
I went to actually grab my trespass, right?
Truth?
No, and I threw my truth. But I went to throw the trespass at first. And I was like, nope, that's too much disc.
You the escape.
I escaped.
Yeah, it was, but you still crushed it anyways, and Grandpa had a really nice up there to get himself that par, hopefully.
Yep. You should
I just
we'll save that.
I put way too much
And
on there.
Threw mine over towards the tee pad for hole 14, and
But
I gave it a
almost
run,
makes the birdie. Hits last hole hit the basket. Now this hole hits
man.
the band. Is trying to get that height down. I will putt in for par. Thankfully.
Had to make sure the camera was rolling. Sometimes it's easy to forget that, especially when all 3 of us are taking turns videoing. My dad having a little fun there, but yeah, we took turns videoing so that we can capture everybody's stuff. So this par 3, 365 yards. You can't see the basket or feet. You can't see the basket from the tee pad, and
This is my least favorite hole.
Yeah. And he kind of pulls it, but he gets to come back. You want to be left if you're gonna miss, so that way you have an angle into the green.
Oh yeah, and it's ironic because every time I play this hole, I know that I need to be left, and I try and compensate for that, but I always pull it right.
And I normally throw a forehand on this one. As you can see, my dad puts it out there, and he gets down the fairway. And being lefty, he has a nice hyzer in. So I took the escape, and yep, I'll take that down there. Left myself on the left side of the fairway with that one, and then my dad cuts a little short there, but I think he'll be all right.
Could have been could have definitely been a lot worse there. Once you get in those trees on the right, it's hard to get out of them, just like I did there. But
so you can see the basket is tucked way over to the right. This little clearing. It's a really nice hole, but you definitely, if you're gonna try to attack the basket, you gotta make sure you get it around those trees. So it comes out with ooh.
You just put a little too much on that. You had a little too many Wheaties that morning.
Sizing up this shot here.
I don't have much of a look here. Yeah, I had too many branches in my way, so I just threw it up and hoped that it would come back down, but
it did.
it did. It came in like a bomb, but.
And then, and then, yep. Get underneath those branches, and you got all the little tiny twigs that stick out, and sometimes it just deflect the disc. Oh.
And right here, I missed. I was just standing weird, and I was
frustration on you.
I know this hole always gives at least me grief. I feel like it gives us all a little bit of grief.
I made sure I put that sucker in. I got my 3.
And that really hurt. That hole just.
That hole is your nemesis hole.
Yeah, and that is why it's my least favorite hole.
And then.
Grandpa.
Wow, so he got 2 strokes up on you on that one.
Yeah, Grandpa got a bogey, which was
at 1 down.
Pretty good score for that hole.
My dad's sitting at 4. Oh, you guys are tied up.
Yep, that one hole just tied us right up because I.
So this is
get to the basket.
either a forehand or a slight turnover. Can't see the basket from the tee pad. If you move a little left, you can see it, but from the tee pad, you can't see it. And I normally go with a hatchet on this one, and I tried to turn the escape over, and I didn't.
But this is a lefty's dream here.
Yeah, my dad normally he normally throws a overstable high-speed driver on this one, just so he can get that right-hand skip, and he did pretty well with that escape.
Here I'm gonna go with a forehand, and it.
Well, look at that release. Look at the flight of that. Oh my.
Oh yeah.
I'm very pleased with that outcome.
So, I have really hardly anything right here. So I just decided to throw a forehand out and let it float up. And whoa. Right behind the basket. So I should be able to save my par from there. This is my dad's upshot, and he goes a little right and a little short. And then Cameron sitting circle 1 here.
Beautiful drive.
Yeah. It's one of your best drives on that hole. And look at that.
And
another birdie.
Save that birdie, which I desperately needed at that point.
Oh, I do not know how that thing did not stay in there. That was so crazy. It was dead center and then just went 90 degrees right or left. Right off the top of the cage. So I will be going back to the back of the box again because you got the bird and Dad got the par.
Yep.
So you moved back ahead of him by 1.
I did. And you were still trailing away from us.
So hole 8. This one is one of the tough. This was probably one of 2 tough holes on the course. You have to throw a hyzer that's going to fade away from the basket. You went right in the tree that normally collects a lot of people that release a little early there. The ultimate shot is a flex forehand, so you flex it around the bend to the left and let it hard right back into the basket area. And you'll see once we get up to the basket how tucked away into the right hand side this is.
But for a left-handed backhand, that was pretty good. Set himself up pretty well for a second shot. I
generally throw my giant on this, so I went up with the escape and it just stayed straight a little too long, and I got caught up in the trees. My giant definitely fades back quicker. So Cameron just lays out to the fairway.
To have a clear shot, because I felt that was probably the safest option for me.
And he went forehand, but he cut it off a little early and went into the trees to the right. So this area of the course from hole 6 through hole 14 there's a lot of Russian olives. So one thing about those, they have spikes on them, and so you definitely don't want to be in them. And you can see here, I'm trying to gingerly put myself up to where my disc is, so I don't get poked by those things, and they hurt.
They do not feel nice at all.
What's really bad is when the one that you don't see gets you right in the face. So I did what I could to get.
And that was
I just got there.
pretty good. I got a little unfortunate roll out there, and Grandpa.
Trying what he could do to get around that. Those.
Yeah, but just had to throw it into the ground to get out there.
This course plays way different in the summertime when all those leaves are in bloom. You got a lot less gaps, so sometimes you can get a little bit of a break in. And yep, dead on, just a little low. So I'll take another bogey.
Oh, and
Grandpa does the same thing. Your grandpa, my dad.
I will get a double bogey, which Grandpa will as well. At this point, we are both frustrated. We're all frustrated right now.
Yeah, I don't like to be over par at this point. Hole 9. This is a short little hole, but you got the tree in the way right there, so you got to go up over it, and then if you fade out too early, you can go into the trees early, or the tree that's directly left of the basket. If you go too far right, you got trees and then a pond that you can slide down into.
You definitely don't want to do that.
So I think I went a little long there.
You went a little long and it faded off to the left a little bit, but considering what could have happened, that was a good drive.
Oh yeah.
I normally throw a shield on this, so I tried to throw the judge.
I decided to throw a truth there, and I had a pretty good line towards the
So-
basket, so I parked it.
He's not very comfortable with his forehand, so he went backhand on that wind, which he normally throws his overstable driver just to get out and have himself a circle 2 putt. Well, he put it back behind this tree, so he tried everything he could do to get it down there, and that's about where he normally lands on his drive. So he's one shot behind his normal, and puts a little far left out of the basket. So I got this circle 1 putt here.
Pretty far circle 1 putt.
And then a little low.
But you gave it a run.
Well, so I slide right past. And alright. Put it in there. And yep.
I'll take a birdie,
Nice bird.
which after that double bogey, this birdie feels really good right about now.
I only went birdie, double, birdie, so it kind of makes a par run when you average it out. So.
Yeah.
Ooh. So this is hole 10. Pretty straightforward hole. If you go long and left, you can go down in a little gully. If you go way left and short right, you can actually end up in the water again. And then right is Russian olives. So the idea is just to get it out there, up into this, try to get up to circle 1 and go. And guess what I do? Turn it over into the right, and I am deep in those trees. Not where you want to be.
No.
You can actually end up at hole 8's basket, because the hole 8's basket's in those trees.
Yep.
Oh, nice shot.
And I've also gone out in that fairway.
Grandpa just crushes his
Grandpa
drive.
crushed it. Didn't get full left, but he's out here, so
But this is not a bad spot
No.
to be.
he's got a good look at the basket.
And he has a nice upshot there. It's a little short, but had the right line.
And your upshot. Oh,
Oh, great.
not bad. So I was so deep in the trees that he missed my out. So this is where I ended up for my second shot, and that was for par, which I missed. But yeah, I had nothing. I had to just toss out as far as I can get it and go with what I got. And couldn't see me in the weeds, so They're in the trees.
Grandpa
look
will save the par.
Look at that.
And you can tell by his reaction he's pretty relieved by that. I
Look
will
at
save
you
the
guys
par as well.
parring, and then I get my bogey.
It's still at the bottom of the box.
Oh, man.
Or drops back to the bottom of the box, more rather.
So, now we're on hole 11. This is another short hole. But you got a nice set of guardian trees to the right that prevents you from hyzering in. And then if you go too far left, you're in that other tree. And then obviously long is in trees. So you just clipped those trees and got through them out onto the
in the trees, so
area where the green's at.
Yeah. Like you said, those garden trees almost forbids you from hyzering in.
And then Grandpa, your grandpa, puts it, I think he put it next to the basket. And I try to throw a judge on an Annie, and I fly right over the basket and long. We thought that it had a chance of going in, it was just too high.
Here I have a circle 2 putt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for what I had, that was
a
good run, I
Complain
suppose.
about that.
Yeah, those trees were still somewhat in my way, but
And good.
and
I'll take
that's
that birdie.
what you've been waiting for all day, is to find that perfect height to start sinking birdies.
And there he
And
is.
Grandpa
So
sinks
2
his
birds
birdie.
and should be a par here. And it
And
is.
it is.
Sweet. So you guys are remaining pretty close. I still got my comfortable lead. Trying to fight my way back to get to
Only
under par.
3 shots. You know, better than us, but
So hole
comfortable
12. When we played tournaments, we marked the road OB, but since it's a gravel and it's hard to tell during casual play, we don't play it as OB. But it does make the hole a lot harder when you play it OB because it gets really tight up next to the basket.
Grandpa crushes his drive down there.
Yep.
You're throwing your truth.
Yep. And I think I went a little. Yeah, Grandpa said he lost it. I think it went a little right. Or a little left, I mean.
Yeah,
so,
I think it faded out to the left. But
and then you're going to throw a forehand that you just turn over just a little bit and it holds a little long. But
he got out
but
there.
you're out there, so
I have a
Grandpa
good
came
look
up
at-
a little short on his. But he'll put it up next to the basket, good little roll, and should have a par. You gonna give it a good run for birdie?
I gave it enough disc,
All
but
right.
not online.
So yeah, I faded off a little bit. I normally throw a forehand on this hole, so it fades towards the basket, but with the disc we had, I didn't trust the forehand, so I went backhand and I'll make a par. Barring any crazy chain outs.
Can happen a lot on this course. And we get
yep.
the star par.
Yep.
For that hole, that's not bad.
No, we'll take it. So hole 13, I believe it's the shortest hole on the course, but it's got.
Definitely wouldn't say it's the easiest, though.
No, it's got trees in the way. And this time of the year, they're not quite as bad, but in the summertime, you have a small gap there. So I have over the last few months, I've been going Spike Heiser with it.
That's what you'll attempt
So I
here.
attempt that here. And, yep.
It just cuts off too early.
It
And
goes a little left.
this is your least favorite hole, huh?
Yeah. Even though I've aced it.
Yeah, if I ever ace a hole, I'm not going to say it's my least favorite hole.
Trying to throw a putter there, I end up. I have to throw it. I can't throw it hard, otherwise it goes long. And a lot of times in tournaments, when we have any tournaments here, we make this an island hole, so you have to land on the island. And so I have better results with the Spike Heiser. I think I overall have a lower score. So you missed your birdie, I missed mine.
But Grandpa will take his birdie, and we will take our pars, and
move on to hole 14.
yeah. Grandpa had a tremendous shot up there that left him a pretty good.
Well, one stroke separating you two now.
Yeah.
So 228. This is on a ridge, and the hole is guarded by trees, and this is definitely not a lefty-friendly hole. He goes a little right, unless you got a lefty forehand. I'm going to take my truth.
This is your favorite hole.
Yep, I love this hole. And then I ended up going way long.
Oh, wow. You know,
So in tournament play, there's a road back there, so they'll mark it with an OB line, like I said, with gravel.
and that drive was looking fantastic until it just clipped that branch, and then clearly I'm not too thrilled about that, but you just have to throw it up there. Got a little nose high in it, tree, but
Yep.
slowly getting up there. Oh, he definitely gave it a run there, but this is one of those baskets where if it's not going to hit chains, it's going to go.
So Cameron puts a run on it and then gets a horrible roll.
And
I'm telling it, asking it for it to stop, and it just keeps rolling.
it just keeps on rolling.
So then he throws. Oh. So this is where my drive landed. If it was tournament play, I'd been inbounds, I would have got my relief and been able to stand up there a little closer. But I clipped a branch, came down short.
So we had a little mix-up here. I was
Actually, the closer of the two.
closer of the two discs, but
we couldn't use video evidence. So, no worries.
it's just a casual round, so
Boom. He'll put it in, and I think with that, you guys swap positions.
yeah.
And I'll take the par. I get disappointed when I make a par on this, but I'll take a par over a bogey for sure.
And if 6 wasn't my least favorite hole,
Yeah,
the hole we
yeah.
just played is definitely next in line, because the hole is not friendly for amateur players.
So this is a pretty straightforward hole. Just gotta keep it low off the tee so you don't hit those low branches, but it's a pretty straightforward hole. I'll be throwing the truth.
Grandpa lands a little left of where he wanted to be, but and
I faded out.
It looks like you will join him over there by that barbecue on
I
the
let
left
a little
side.
bit off of that because I didn't want to overthrow it, and because of that I didn't commit and I ended up fading out. And this is forehand from Cameron that turns over,
Yeah,
and I think you're trying to head to the next hole.
yeah, it was.
You're trying to black ace that hole,
You
or
know,
at least a barbecuer.
if I didn't know any better, one could say that I was probably going for that hole and was sitting really well. But
you put it up there, so
I
you
have
should
shot.
like that par.
it was pretty decent.
And here's your grandpa for his.
Oh.
Birdie look, birdie bid, and just hits the
Oh.
cage. And this is where mine landed.
You
So
gotta
I'm
go for
going
your birdie putt.
And nope.
But you gave it a run.
Good par. Good par. So pars all around. Yep.
And considering where my drive landed, I am pretty happy with the fact that I was able to save par alongside you guys. So
Hole 16 is another pretty straight one. There is a guardian tree right of the basket to prevent any deep hyzers, you know, any strong hyzers. And then for the righty, for the lefty, you pretty much got an open hyzer shot down to the basket. However, because it goes downhill, if you try to run this basket, you run a chance of going into Snake River. And I give this a run at the basket, and
you can't see the basket from
barely see the top of the basket from the tee pad.
if you're tall enough.
If you're probably 5'8" or lower, probably not able to see it. There you go.
Yeah, I did not have the best drive, and my upshot is not fantastic either, but should be able to save par from there.
Ooh. Good.
Ooh,
So
that was a pretty good run from
let's
Grandpa.
see here. Can you make the par over the barbecuer? Or are you on the backside?
Oh, I hit the top.
Hit the top. So another shot back to Grandpa for you. And oh, you're gonna tap out, and then
For bogey.
looks like this is where my drive landed.
Beautiful drive.
So I'm back to even.
Beautiful drive.
At this
I was
point,
half
most of
expecting
the
to
time
get
at this point, if I'm not between 4 and 6 down, I'm not having the best round. So even par, I clawed my way back, but what can you do? So
Well, you're not throwing all the discs that you would normally have.
so
So
it depends on the wind what I throw here normally, either forehand or backhand. So I just try to go straight up the middle, and I hit the tree. I thought it was going to be a really good shot, and it just didn't get past that branch. And he hits the tree as well. So a lot of times if it's a right to left wind, I'll go around the right tree over the building and have it crash back to the left. And if it's a left to right wind, I'll do a forehand over the left side and bring it back in. But today wasn't going to work. And he puts it up next to a tree. So he's got some work to do. And what are you thinking here?
I released it a little early.
Yeah.
I was trying to come around to the right side of the basket, but I released it early, and
So I tried to
Where am I going?
judge upshot, and I turn it over, giving it a little too much power, and
those judges, man, they're pretty touchy.
I'm just not used to the beat on it, so sometimes it just doesn't feel right in the hand. And then I forced it over, and
Ooh,
good look.
that was
So now I'm putting for
good up from
putting for
Grandpa.
par.
Oh, and it just
Just
barely misses. It was a good run.
oh, very good look. But I think you really needed that one.
I did. I'm
I'll
not
take a
too
bogey, so I
happy
slip back to +1.
with how I'm sitting right now.
So I need a birdie on the last hole to get back to even par. Cameron's disappointed. He didn't have a horrible round. He just had 2 horrible holes.
Yeah.
Hole 6 and hole 14.
Definitely not the worst round I've ever played out here so far, but sitting +9 with 1 hole left to go, not exactly where I want to be.
Here's a low ceiling. Normally I throw a forehand on this with a fill-in, so I'm going to throw this truth. And my dad loses it, but I actually threw a really good shot down there, so we'll see when I get up to my drive. And
They left it open for you. You going forehand?
I think you just clipped that tree down there and fell. But you're in the middle of the fairway, I believe, and he hits another tree. So he's got some work to do, and then
Yeah, he's
he
making
puts
an
that a little
opening
right.
for me.
So
This
he's got
is my
that for bogey.
Yeah, this is my chance to come back.
Yep. And you give it a run and just
Saws off a little early.
And so you can see where my drive ended up. It was a great drive. I couldn't capitalize on the birdie though, so and
He saves that bogey.
Yep. And
I saved par, but I knew I needed that. I needed that shot.
And I'll take down this Starter Pack Challenge for the victory. With the phone in the hand.
Surprise, surprise.
But hey, it was all about having fun and enjoying the time together, and it was interesting. And so, thank you guys for watching. Check out the next one.